News Talk 610 AM and 102.1 FM. KVNU.
KVNU News Time is 4:05. I'm Bill Walter with this news update brought to you by the Duct Hunter. Crews have been continuing to restore power to customers who have been in the dark. Utility line workers have been repairing electrical lines since this morning's snowstorm broke hundreds of tree limbs, knocked out power lines, and blew transformers. Logan City Light and Power Director Mark Montgomery said they were still working late this afternoon to return electricity for roughly 1,000 residents and businesses, which is a substantial decrease compared to earlier when outages peaked at around 9,000 in the city. Rocky Mountain Power spokesman Jason Lee said the storm had caused multiple outages throughout northern Utah and southeast Idaho. Most of the outages were spread out and being repaired on a case-by-case basis.
Most of them are small. However, the total comes to a little over 2,100 people.
And crews were working to restore electricity site by site, depending on the cause. They are not sure, though, exactly when power will be completely restored. Lee said, in addition to tree limbs, the storm has caused some power lines to snap because of the weight of the snow.
We have folks out, troublemen, looking for those issues and doing the best they can to get people back online as quickly as possible.
In some cases, outages were because of structural damage to customers' homes or businesses. Montgomery said the power wire that comes from the pole to a house is the utility company's responsibility. The mast that it connects to and the meter base on the side of the house is the customer's property. And if the mast or meter is damaged or pulled away from the house, it needs to be repaired by a licensed electrician. That needs to be arranged for by the customer before crews can restore electricity. Utility crews were asking customers to make sure that any trees or branches they are clearing are not laying on power lines. Also, if any downed power line is located, contact the power company immediately. KVNU News Time is 4:07, and as far as our weather tonight, we're not expecting a repeat of late last night and early this morning, but there is a 30% chance of rain and snow showers this evening. Overnight low in the mid-20s. And then improving weather tomorrow, partly cloudy skies, high temperature in the mid-40s before another chance of rain or snow showers late Wednesday night into Thursday morning, and then partly cloudy around 40 during the day on Thursday. Right now we have 37 degrees at KVNU. KVNU weather brought to you by Cache Valley Hearing and Audiology. Bring back the sounds you've been missing. Schedule a free hearing evaluation with Dr. Paul Daines at Cache Valley Hearing and Audiology.
Did you know a block dryer vent is a real fire hazard? According to the Consumer Product Safety Commission, there are tens of thousands of dryer exhaust duct fires annually, leading to many injuries and death. You should have your dryer hose and the area around it cleaned once a year, and inspect the vent and hose for any blockages at least every 6 months. Don't wait for disaster to strike because your dryer vent is blocked. Give John Henson a call at the Duct Hunter. Call 770-4813 today.
Breathe better, save money, protect your home. We are the Duct Hunter.
KVNU News Time is 4:08. A free conference for family caregivers in Cache Valley is set for November 3rd. The event is intended as an observance of National Caregivers Month, according to Hannah Cragen, the local director of the Retired Senior Volunteer Program. Cragen said the event is free and educational, plus a service to family caregivers, especially for loved ones with dementia or end-of-care issues. Topics to be discussed during the Zoom meeting include healthy living for your brain and body, music therapy, and wills, trusts, and advanced directives. The event is being hosted from 1 to 4 p.m. on Wednesday, November 3rd by the Bear River Caregivers Coalition. Cragen said interested participants can log into or out of the Zoom conference as needed or depending on their particular interests. And Utah Governor Spencer Cox and Lieutenant Governor Deidre Henderson issued an executive order today granting all state executive branch employees 4 hours of administrative leave to address mental health issues. A recent CDC survey found that nearly 41% of respondents reported an adverse mental or behavioral health condition such as anxiety, depression, loneliness, or increased substance use. In addition, a Society for Human Resource Management survey found that work-related concerns left more than 40% of employees feeling hopeless, burned out, or exhausted as they grapple with lives altered by the COVID-19 pandemic. Yet 37% of employees said they have not done anything to cope with depression-related symptoms. The governor said in a video message to state employees that as leaders, it is their responsibility to transform the ways that people think about, talk about, and address all forms of mental health challenges. The governor said we all need to do better at taking care of ourselves and those around us and reduce the stigma surrounding mental health. KVNU News Time is 4:10. For more details on these and other stories, visit CashValleyDaily.com.
The local news source. News Talk KVNU 610 AM and 102.1 FM.
NMLS 1817019.
Lendrite Mortgage declares freedom from high rates and closing costs with the introduction of our Freedom Loan. What is a Freedom Loan? 1, you pay 0 closing costs. 2, you get a rate that's the same or lower than the rate other lenders charge you thousands in points and fees to get. The choice is clear. Pay thousands more than you should with another lender, or get the same or lower rate and have the Freedom Loan cover 100% of your closing costs. Act now. Freedom Loan APRs are as low as 1.92% for 8 to 15-year terms and 2.67% for 16 to 30-year terms. Call 801-APPROVE or visit lendritemortgage.com. Get a Freedom Loan and say no to high rates and closing costs. Call 801-APPROVE or visit lendritemortgage.com.
Election fraud, biological weapons poisoning, loss of religious liberty. With everything going on in the country, isn't it about time somebody did something? It's time for We the People to act. Join other true conservatives and world-renowned speakers at the We Can Act Liberty Conference in Salt Lake City, sponsored by Lime Justice. Join General Flynn, Katie Hopkins, Senator Borelli, and more at the We Can Act Liberty Conference on October 22nd and 3rd at the Salt Palace. Get your tickets at WeCanAct.net or text WeCan to 53445. This message paid for by Lime Justice.
The expert with a green thumb. It's the Garden Guide with Mark Anderson from Anderson Seed and Garden.
What can you use on squash? The bugs and worms and everything are eating and killing them.
There are some very safe alternatives to use for insects, and it's called Lawn Shield. And the Lawn Shield is made for mosquitoes, especially in your lawn. But I use it in my vegetable garden. It works amazing, and it just repels the insects, makes them go away.
Thank you.
The Garden Guide, Saturday mornings at 8 on News Talk KVNU. For the people.
We are waiting with bated breath for news from the Cash Republican Party meeting an executive committee tonight
With Jason Williams.
and I'm really excited about this next segment. We have two guests here in studio. We're going to talk about something that we've talked about many times here on the show, but from a bit of a different angle.
Weekday afternoons from 4 till 6 on News Talk KVNU, 610 AM and 102 FM.
Welcome to KVNU's For the People. It is Tuesday, October 12th, and we have a show packed full of guests today, left and right. We'll work back from the second hour. It is Halloween coming up, and our For the People book club delayed by 1 week due to scheduling issues last week. But Craig Peterson will be joining us at 5 o'clock, and he's going to be talking about Frankenstein. But we're going to talk about this from the perspective of how wrong everyone got it with all of the movies, what Frankenstein is actually about, and why it's actually not the best choice for a scary Halloween theme. So that's coming up in hour 2 of today's show for the For the People book club. Right here in hour 1, though, celebrating a concert that will be taking place tonight at what's known as The Barn in Old Paradise. This is roughly 108th South on Utah Highway 165 there through Paradise. You can't miss it. And if you do miss it, just ask a local. They'll tell you. This is also Representative Casey Snyder's barn, and he offers this up as a location for a lot of different events throughout the year. And they have brought to town for a concert tonight at 7 p.m. award-winning Canadian recording artist Eli Barsi, and she'll be joined by John Cunningham, and both of them, as well as Dale Major, our friend, here in studio. And they're going to play a little bit for us later on. They brought their instruments, and they're all prepped and ready to go. But I joked, Eli, before we started, I said, welcome to Cache Valley. It looks a bit like a war zone right now. We were just slammed by snow last night. I saw some pictures from around other parts of the state. I was in Brigham City earlier. Nothing. No snow there, but about 8 inches in some spots, 10 inches in others. Tree branches down left and right. The leaves hadn't fallen yet. So,
and our power just came back at my place just about 45 minutes ago. It's been off since 7 this morning.
The weather in Utah is crazy. Does it get like this in Canada?
Only 7 months out of the year.
Are we missing a mic? Okay.
Yeah, only 7 months out of the year it's like this in Canada. Although when we left a few days ago, we were still wearing shorts, which is unusual for us. So,
hey, I actually had shorts on Sunday.
Yeah.
But winter coat and hat today. But
yes, for sure.
This is. I'm excited to get a chance to talk to you. I had a chance to look at some videos online, and I'm amazed. To bring this type of talent to Cache Valley, to the barn there in Paradise, is really amazing. And I hope everybody takes a chance to get out and see you tonight.
Well, thank you.
I won't spoil any of it until people get a chance to hear you. But how did you get started in this?
Oh, I've kind of always been involved with music ever since I was a little girl. I've always loved music, and it kind of was there. It wasn't something that I went after. It was just something that was part of my life at a very early age, and it was just, I play by ear, I'm self-taught, so it was just kind of something that was there, and I just developed it throughout the years. And as I got going, when I was younger, got going with guitar and writing songs, I really thought that this is something I want to pursue as a career. And so I have been playing music professionally as my living for 36 years.
Wow.
This October, this week.
It's very
it's kind of an anniversary.
Celebrating a bit of an anniversary here.
Yeah.
It's amazing, and this concert tonight, again for listeners, 7 p.m. at the Barn in Old Paradise. This is billed as a Western roots music concert, and that's a lot of what I've seen. Some of your recordings, which by the way, listeners, you can purchase online. Some of the videos that you have up on your various channels of social media. This is. What does that mean to you, roots of Western music? It's not like what you hear on, the country billboard charts.
No, it's not mainstream country for sure. It's Western music has always been very wholesome and traditional, and it's always depicted the Western lifestyle. The sound is very acoustic. And I've just taken it maybe a few directions, a little bit out of the mainstream traditional sound. And it sometimes my Western roots is a little more folky. Sometimes it might have a little bit more of a bluegrass element. So it's rootsy, but it's Western because I'm singing about the land, the people, the community, the Western lifestyle.
This music is history in a way, right? And storytelling. Very
much so.
That is, so I assume you do, when you perform, you do some traditional stuff, but much of this is your own creation.
Right.
Where do you get the ideas? Is it harder, let me put the question this way, is it harder these days to get in touch with that traditional Western root? We've all got smartphones in our pockets.
Yeah, in that way, yes. But I surround myself with. I'm not living on the farm or ranch anymore, but I'm still connected to all those kinds of people, and we're still visiting areas that are living that lifestyle, and some of my family still are working cattle and farmers. So I'm still very much in touch with it. So I still have lots to draw from, believe me, and the people that I'm around and the stories I hear and just still my own experiences. I still haven't covered all of those things, in my songs. I'm hoping I can keep digging from my memories for lots of upcoming songs.
It's funny for a lot of Americans when we think Western, when we think, cattle ranching and horses, we always think of Utah, Montana, Wyoming, places like that. But we rarely think of Canada. I think most people, when they think of Canada, they think of the large cities. But most of Canada is actually still an agricultural-based lifestyle, ranching lifestyle.
Wide open spaces.
That is...
Well, way back when, there was no borders. The West was North America all the way up, from the top of Alberta, British Columbia, Saskatchewan, right down to the Mexican border. That was the West, and we had our immigrants, like the immigrants came from Europe to start a better life. They came to the West, Canada or Western United States, and that's how we got our first cowboys, too, same way.
That is... This is, the word prairie, again, for most people, I think they think the American West, and it stops there for most Americans. But that's where you grew up, right? Mm-hmm. In Canada, the prairie.
Yeah, Saskatchewan prairies. If you think central Kansas, that's very similar. If you haven't been to Saskatchewan, maybe you've driven through Kansas, and pretty flat, not so many hills or trees, and wide open space. That's the prairies of Saskatchewan. Alberta, again, is another story. You got the prairies, but then you're going to get into the Rocky Mountains.
Sure.
Yeah.
That upper edge of the Rocky Mountains, right?
Yeah.
Where it gets really jagged.
Yeah. But Saskatchewan and Manitoba, I guess, the province to the east, we're the prairies of the country, for sure.
Now you tour a lot. You do a lot of shows. The last 18, 19 months for all of us have been very weird, to say the least. How have you kept that up? Has it been harder in the midst of everything going on?
Yeah, we've taken quite a hit, and more so than we thought. As of last March, 2020, we lost 100% of the work.
Wow.
From then until we still had things booked into this year, but as this year started, January, February, things slowly canceled to where about 80% of our work of this year has been canceled as well.
Wow, really?
Yeah. So, but we've always been pretty innovative and determined to find ways to make it work. We both have other things going on. I'm an artist. I'm a painter. So I decided to, of all things, the worst timing maybe, I opened an art gallery and a gift boutique in the little town that we live in Moosomin, Saskatchewan.
Oh, wow.
And it's been not a lot of foot traffic yet. We're still working on that, but it's getting to be where I'm getting lots of commissions.
That's very nice.
And sending paintings all the way here to our friend Dale Major, Utah, commissioned a painting, and from here to Belgium to Europe, all over Europe, people were I just through social media and getting the word out. I was getting lots of calls for commissions, so that helped get us through, and it kept me sane. I was able to be creative, and
sure.
I thought, I'm going to write a bunch more songs and record at least 2 albums in this time span. But I found it really hard to do the music because I've always, for so long, work on music because I'm going somewhere with it.
Sure.
And even though I can still record and get it out to radio and whatnot, it's the live shows that are really where we make our living and what inspires me to keep going,
sure.
And that's been non-existent. So it's been really hard to pick up the guitar and try to write and be inspired. So the painting has kind of taken the lead because I find I can really, be creative and get my expression out that way. So that's been good. And my husband John, who's here with me today, he's a driver, so he lost all his work as a motor coach driver because of course all of those gigs were gone.
Double whammy for you guys.
It was like it was a big hit, but since he's a driver, there's other driving work, and then he's always wanted to teach music. So we've never been able to pursue some of those kinds of things because we had such a crazy schedule for so long.
Sure.
Now that we were in one place for a certain amount of time, he could actually set a guitar teaching schedule together, and he's had lots of students, and he's enjoyed that. And we do that at my gallery, so we've kind of made it into a little art center, and we're utilizing the space for all kinds of arts. And we've invited other artisans in to show their wares and share their talents, pottery, soap making, things like that. And so it's running without us while we're here on tour, because like nothing's going to keep us from getting back out and playing a show if we got a chance. So here we are. But it's changed our lives for sure. But we still have the odd little sprinkling of gigs that we can get to, and we have those to look forward to, and we'll see how things go. Maybe we'll be able to pick it back up and
I hope so.
Get back to somewhat normal if that'll ever happen.
If there is such a thing, right?
We're not sure. We'll see.
I know I say that to myself all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, it's a pleasure to be able to talk to you about this. I've always wondered, how musicians have been affected by this, especially independent musicians. For listeners. You can follow Eli everywhere. You're on Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, iTunes, SoundCloud, Instagram, and all of that. The website.
I am.
Well, someone's maybe it was John. No. He's over there smiling. So he's like, "Oh yeah, I meant to tell you."
Yeah.
This is our guest in studio again. Can be found at the website. EliBarsi.com, and that's spelled B-A-R-S-I. I've linked to that on our Facebook page as well. And on the way back in from this quick break, Eli and John are going to play a bit for us. Again, they're performing tonight in Paradise at the Barn. It's roughly 108th South there on Highway 165 through Paradise. You can't miss it. And again, if you do, just ask a local. They'll tell you where it is. Eli Barsi and John Cunningham performing tonight at 7 p.m. at the Barn in Old Paradise, and they'll give us a sneak peek of that performance right after this.
If you think it's expensive to hire a professional, just wait until you hire an amateur.
Why the heck is the roof leaking? Larry, you said you got it fixed.
I thought it was fixed, Donna. Everything was fine until it started raining.
Larry, that's the point of fixing the roof, is so we can actually live here when it's stormy outside.
This is David with Roof Rescue. Our experienced roofing team is tried and true and will fix your roof guaranteed. Visit roofrescueusa.com to schedule your free roof inspection. Roof Rescue, providing watertight peace of mind.
Logan Dental Associates has been serving Cache Valley for over 20 years. They are excited to announce the addition of Dr. Brandon Preby, hygienist Emily Preby, and Dr. Curtis Taylor. Dr. Preby and Dr. Taylor will also continue to work at Cherry Creek Dental in Richmond. Now allow for increased hours and advanced services at Logan Dental Associates in Logan. Call and make your appointment with Dr. Brandon Preby or Dr. Curtis Taylor at Logan Dental Associates by calling 435-787-8207.
Let's celebrate. It's the 1-year anniversary of Judge's Car Wash. You've asked and Judge's listened. With all unlimited car wash plans, when you add more family cars to your current plan, you'll get half off. You heard that right. Each additional car on your plan is half the price for unlimited washes. Big thanks to Cache Valley for a fantastic year and for judging them #1 in Best of Northern Utah in both express and full-service car wash. Stop by today for half off additional family vehicles and check out the Haunted Tunnel. You be the judge. Judge's Car Wash, 2500 North Main in Logan.
Welcome back to KVN News for the People. Tonight in Paradise at 7 p.m., there is a Western Roots music concert at the Barn at 108th South there on Highway 165 through Paradise. If you don't know where it is, a local can tell you, but you can't miss it, really. Big old barn. And also happens to be Representative Casey Snyder's barn, but I'm told he's out of town. He's just donated the location tonight. This Western Roots music concert will feature our guests here in studio this hour. Eli Barsi and John Cunningham. You can find them at elibarsi.com. And right now, they're going to give us a little sneak peek of what you can hear tonight at the Barn in Old Paradise at 7 p.m. Take it away.
1, 2, 3.
Out where the coyotes yip and cry, stout-hearted pony on the fly. Got the rolling hills before me, the prairie moon above. Got a letter and a promise from a sweetheart that I love. I'm about the richest gal I know, rhyming the ranges as I go. All my silver's in the stardust, my gold is in the moon. All my treasures in the trail I ride, the love I'm seeing soon. Out where the wind blows free, I'm never going to leave. Wearing my heart upon my sleeve, I'm riding home to you. Oda-lady-o-dee-o, oda-lady-ay, oda-lady-ay-dee-o, oda-lo-dee-o, oda-lay-o-da-lo, oda-lo, oda-lay, oda-lay-ay-dee-ay, oda-lo. Woo-hoo. Blue shadows start to fall, moon lights the canyon wall. Rivals ringing, I'm 10 feet tall. I'm riding home to you. Woo! Out where the wind blows free, I'm never going to leave. Wearing my heart upon my sleeve, I'm riding home to you. Oda-lady-o-dee-o, oda-lady-ay, oda-lady-ay-dee-o, oda-lo-dee-o, oda-lay-o-da-lo, oda-lo, oda-lay, oda-lay-ay-dee-ay, oda-lo.
Oh, it's just, yeah, I was going to say we need.
Thank you.
It doesn't do it justice to only have Bill and I here to clap.
A real intimate audience.
Just a little sampling there of what Eli means when she says Western roots music.
Mm-hmm.
And tell us now that, for example, has a history to it, right? What we just heard. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, well, sure. They say the homesteaders are living somewhere off in middle of nowhere in their sod house cabin, and the fella has to leave to go to the fort for supplies, or he's out on a cattle drive for days on end, and he's finally riding home to his sweetheart.
That is...
Riding home to you. Yodeling as he's going. Because he's happy to get home. You can't yodel sad, you can only yodel happy.
This is one of my favorite things about, that old school Western music. It's so storytelling oriented. But as I understand it, this is also, Dale and I have talked about this before when we've had him on with guests from the Cowboy Rendezvous. Mm-hmm. This is folk history. This is the history of communities and families told through song. We do it on social media now. We post things to Facebook, all of that.
Yeah.
But this is, at a certain point, this is the way families kept their generational history, right, through these songs, and then they became songs we've all heard and enjoy. And you tap into that as part of your career.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I do. I think it's like our ancestors that came from Europe. They the first jobs that they got often were working as a cowhand on the cattle ranches, or moving the herds from Texas to the trail to the train. Hundreds of miles away, and so they needed a lot of extra hands on the trail, and they'd sit around the campfire and share their stories from their lands, and maybe someone would have a guitar and they'd add a little music to somebody's cowboy poetry or somebody's poetry, and the German guy would add a yodel from the Alps, and and that's how the traditional old cowboy songs started. And then, people like me, many years later, we kind of develop our own sound and take it in a few different directions and bring into fruition some of the modern Western stories of people today that are living on the land.
That is, this has spanned such a time frame. This type of music, as a history book, as a storytelling conduit. It fascinates me to think of the different lifestyles that have been represented over the years, from the original prairie days when your homestead was where you were at all times, and now today, I imagine these songs with the same music, the same feel to it, but it's the internet's down, and my Amazon package was late. Is that tough to modernize, I guess, the storytelling as you write new music?
No, not so much. I like to be diverse, and I like to keep it. You never really know when I'm writing what direction it's going to take, and I fool myself thinking sometimes, this is definitely going to go this way, and I want it to sound a little more edgy, and then it ends up being a waltz.
Sure.
So you just never know until the song's done.
That's amazing. It's just fascinating to hear your story, and she's going to stick around. Both Eli and John are going to stick with us here after the news break, and we'll talk more about this. We'll also talk to our friend Dale, who's here in studio, about arranging all of these, because these concerts happen on a somewhat regular basis. It is tonight, 7 p.m. at the Barn in Old Paradise, 108th South on Highway 165 there in Paradise. And it is a live Western Roots music concert featuring our guests here in studio this hour, award-winning Canadian recording artist Eli Barsi and John Cunningham. And on the other side, we'll see if we can make John say a few things. No one's heard his voice yet. But
good idea.
It's EliBarsi.com is the website again. You can also find her on various social media channels. And please check it out. It's not only Western Roots music, but it's something that will brighten your day, which we could all probably use a little of today, considering the weather. Stay with us. We'll be back after this look at the news with KVNU's Bill Walter.
Thank you, Jason. KVNU News Time is 4:37. The news is brought to you by Cache Valley Pharmacy. And yes, the weather, heavy snowfall overnight and early this morning knocked out power to thousands and canceled or delayed the start of schools as of this morning. The early winter storm also caused multiple traffic accidents and slide-offs. After announcing classes would be delayed for 2 hours, Logan City School Superintendent Frank Schofield explained that all schools would remain closed because of power outages from the weather. A makeup day will be scheduled, and patrons will be notified once that is finalized. The Cache County School District announced that Ridgeline, Spring Creek, Mountainside, and Wellsville also closed for the day. All other county schools were on a 2-hour delay. USU Police Captain Kent Harris said the Logan campus was closed until at least noon today because of the severe weather. Morning classes were canceled. Classrooms and offices were expected to open by noon today. Harris explained the university continued to have electricity, but multiple trees and limbs were still falling throughout campus. The falling limbs were posing a substantial danger, prompting the campus closure while crews begin the cleanup. As far as crews around the county and Logan City, they are still doing cleanup of limbs that had fallen earlier this morning because of the heavy, wet snow. Crews said it could take possibly several days for everything to be cleaned up. And also power is being restored to most customers with Logan City, Rocky Mountain Power, and other utilities. Hopefully power is back late this afternoon. Crews have been working on restoring power all day. Cross-country traveler Gabby Petito was strangled, according to a Wyoming coroner announcing today. Teton County Coroner Dr. Brent Blue said in a news conference that the 22-year-old Petito had been dead for weeks before her body was found September 19th near an undeveloped camping area along the border of Grand Teton National Park.
After a detailed investigation by our forensic pathologist, our anthropologist, and local law enforcement, with assistance from the FBI, the Teton County Coroner's Office is following the following verdict. In the manner of death of Gabrielle Lenora Petito, we find the cause and manner to be death by strangulation, and manner is homicide.
It was not clear if the determination might lead to additional charges against Petito's boyfriend and traveling partner, Brian Laundrie, who is considered a person of interest in her disappearance and remains unaccounted for. KVNU News Time is 4:39.
This is Phil from Cache Valley Pharmacy. Don't let anyone tell you where you have to go to get your prescriptions. At Cache Valley Pharmacy, we would love to earn your business. Transferring your prescriptions is as easy as one phone call. Cache Valley Pharmacy offers free delivery valley-wide with compounding services and the best prices. We are the choice for prescriptions. Locally owned for 19 years, and we will be here for years to come. Visit CacheValleyPharmacy.com. Cache Valley Pharmacy, your new pharmacy.
KVNU weather for tonight, still a 30% chance of rain or snow showers this evening. Overnight low in the mid-20s, and then a better day tomorrow, although still cool, partly cloudy, mid-40s for the high. Another round of snow showers late Wednesday night into early Thursday before partly cloudy skies take over again Thursday, and the high temperature around 40. It's been to 38. It's 37 right now at KVNU. KVNU weather brought to you by Wheatland Seed, offering real food for storage, lab-tested and verified chemical-free. Their fall stock-up sale is going on now, available for store pickup. So order today at wheatlandseed.com. That's wheatlandseed.com. For more details on these and other stories, visit CacheValleyDaily.com. Let's check Wall Street now with Edward Jones.
This is Ted Karen with Edward Jones Investments in Smithfield, bringing you the daily financial market report for Tuesday, October 12th. Stocks closed lower on Tuesday for the third day in a row as investors await inflation data amid a cut in global economic growth projections by the IMF. European and Asian markets were also negative on rising oil prices as shortages and panic buying continues. The U.S. 10-year Treasury yield was little changed, and the dollar was mixed against a basket of currencies. At Tuesday's close, the Dow was down 117 to 34,378, the S&P 500 down 10 to 4,350, and the Nasdaq was down 20, closing at 14,465. Crude oil was little changed at $80.50 a barrel, and gold was up $6 to $1,762 an ounce. Investors were focused on jobs data today while looking to corporate earnings guidance as earnings season gets officially underway later this week. Large cap banking names such as JP Morgan will kick the season off, but the bar for outperforming analyst expectations is rising, and strong earnings results might not be enough to allay investor fears. This has been today's financial market report, brought to you by Edward Jones Investments, member SIPC, serving individual investors with personalized attention and long-term financial advice. If you would like additional information, please visit our website at edwardjones.com or contact any of the 7 advisors in Cache Valley in Providence, Logan, and Smithfield.
Do the news headlines or those strangely vacant grocery store shelves give you that quiet sense that it's time to prepare? But some emergency food storage can be so costly, and you wonder, will my family actually eat this? Or will it still taste fresh when we need it? At Wheatland Seed, we provide families real food, properly packaged, so you can use it every day or store it for up to 25 years. Foods that are affordable, nutritious, and taste great, like wheat, rice, oats, sugar, and beans. Come check out the great sale going on now, like premium baking wheat, 25 pounds for just $19. Order online for local pickup or for home delivery at wheatlandseed.com. That's wheatlandseed.com.
We need more attainable housing in Utah and Cache Valley. Today, more than 50% of Utahns can't afford to buy their home in their own neighborhood because of rising prices. Where does that put our first-time homebuyers, our children and grandchildren? Proposition 1 will help bring much-needed attainable housing to Providence and to Cache Valley. Vote for Proposition 1. Paid for by Complete Vineyard for Providence.
Hi there, Congressman Blake Moore here. I will be hosting in-person town halls this week in Cache and Box Elder counties, and I'd love for you to join us. On Tuesday, October 12th, I will be at Utah State University in Cache County at 5 p.m. and then at the Auto Leave Auditorium in Box Elder County at 7:30 p.m. Visit my website at www.blakemore.house.gov and follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Rep. Blake Moore for location details. I look forward to seeing you and addressing your questions. Paid for by official funds authorized by the U.S. House of Representatives.
Welcome back to KVN News for the People. We are joined in studio by two very special guests, three really, with Dale here as well. They are in town and have traveled quite a distance for a live Western Roots music concert. This is taking place tonight at 7 p.m. at the Barn in Old Paradise, and it is free to get in, but of course these artists have to make a living, so donations are encouraged. And it is at 7 p.m. tonight at the Barn in Old Paradise. Here in studio with us, we have award-winning Canadian recording artist Eli Barsi and John Cunningham. Dale Major also joining us here in the studio, and we'll talk to him here in just a bit. I wanted to point this out, but Eli, you won. You've won Album of the Year. You've won Recording Artist of the Year. I'm trying to go through them all here, and. But you're just very casual about this. You're just, I'm just a touring musician.
Oh, I am. I'm just a girl that plays guitar and writes some songs. And I'm thrilled to be here, by the way. This is so nice to visit with you. And
it's fun to have
hi to
you
everybody out there. And John, by the way, is playing a ukulele bass that he's never put his hands on before.
Oh, brand new.
We're borrowing that from Jake Major. So shout out, big thanks to Jake for borrowing the ukulele bass. How's it feel, John?
Small.
It sounds good, I think.
That is very nice. This is the first time I've seen one of these in person.
Same for John.
Really?
Rubber strings.
How funny. Those are some thick strings, but the sound is nice. I like it. It's a pleasure to have you guys here. And speaking of the instruments, you were going to treat us again with another selection without giving too much away, because of course you want everybody to come out tonight, 7 p.m. at the Barn in Old Paradise. Yes. But maybe just tease them a little bit.
Well, there's a little snippet. And by the way, this venue, we were there doing a sound check. It is so lovely. It's just the coolest place. It's really beautiful. So we're going to have some fun there tonight for sure. This is a little snippet of a song that I wrote. It's called Share the Ride. And out of all the things that we get to enjoy when we're on the road, we love sharing music. We love seeing the beautiful countryside and going to all these wonderful places. But it's about the people that we meet along the way and the friends that we get to share the ride with. You never know the trail that you might be asked to ride. Will the breeze be soft and gentle, or the wind tear at your hide? Will the range be green and rolling? Will the grass be belly deep? Or your skies be blue and sunny? Or the trail rise hard and steep? Let's count our wealth and blessings, not just in what we own. If handshakes see up with you, and you'll never ride alone. As sure as stars keep shining and the winds of time blow free, you make my trail the richer, 'cause you share the ride with me. You share you.
Just beautiful.
Thanks so much.
It is. In fact, that's probably the best word to describe this type of music. It's inspiring to hear. Always makes you feel good when you hear it, even if it's a sad story. And often they are sad stories, right?
There are some, yes.
That is, but it's just, it just it lifts the spirits. You also do gospel as well, right?
Yeah, gospel and bluegrass and some other easy listening, and we have covers, lots of covers, tunes in our repertoire. It all depends on the audience. It's not about us. We like to share original stuff, of course, but we like to sneak in those other songs too, because there's some good ones out there that need to be heard again, and our version maybe.
That is fun. Do you ever do, contemporary pop music, any Justin Bieber, anything like that you like to cover or rearrange?
Not so much, but I do like that. I do like a lot of that music too. I listen to all kinds of things. So, we
fun.
mix in some Sheryl Crow, and maybe that's about as hip as we get, and some Queen and
Baby Shark.
Yeah, no,
Baby
not
Shark.
Baby Shark. Not yet.
I can see John wants there to be Baby
he does.
Shark.
Well, that'll be your song on the bass.
Eli vetoing that, obviously.
I think get the young ones coming up.
That's right. Get them. This is. That's another thing we should point out. This is. This music has no generation. It's oftentimes, there are certain songs that have been popular for an era of music, and they're locked in there. This is timeless. It spans, and you're constantly seeing artists really latch onto it and rise up. I always think probably one of the most well known to our listeners would be Alison Krauss, but her career made off of traditional music like this, right?
Yeah,
that is obviously something people want to hear. And you can get out and hear this tonight, 7 p.m., the Barn in Old Paradise. Eli Barsi and John Cunningham will be performing at 7 p.m. There was some concern about the power there, but the power's been restored, and so they will be able to perform with lights and all of that. And this is an opportunity to hear award-winning Canadian recording artist Eli Barsi and John Cunningham performing with her as well. It's a free concert again, but they are asking for donations if you can manage it there at the event. You can also throw some bucks Eli's way via the tip jar on her website, which is elibarsi.com. Also linked to all of her social media there as well. Some great videos, a list of all the awards that she has won. And you can, of course, buy her music there at elibarsi.com. Shifting gears here just a bit, over there in the other corner, Dale Major. Dale, you reached out to me and let me know Eli was coming to town, asked if we'd like to do this, and I said absolutely. And you've brought some great artists into Cache Valley. I know you don't make any money doing this.
If I did, I wouldn't know what to do with it anyway. So
it's a passion for you, right? And this has to feel good sitting here listening to Eli play and then thinking, you and your team there have helped to bring them to town there to the barn tonight at 7 o'clock. Why do you do it?
Well, you got to give a shout out to Casey Snyder. When he got that barn up, he told me, he goes, hey, you want to do anything in here, you just let me know.
It's a perfect event space.
And it's a great space. And so we've had a barn dance there, and we're going to have another one in about a week and a half. And then when I saw that Eli was coming to the Heber City gathering that's this weekend down in Heber City, one of the best ones in the nation. It's huge. A really good show. And we model our Cowboy Rendezvous after it to a degree.
And the weather should play along with that.
And the weather should play well down there, yes. The weather should play. It's okay because you're inside anyway. But I saw that she was coming, and I just reached out to her and said, hey, how about you come a day early and stop off and we'll, put on a show for us? And she's very generously, she said, sure. We've done this before. It's been good. It's been fun. I first saw her it's been at least 15 years ago down there in Heber City, and she did a song that just really touched my wife's heart and myself, and we've just always loved. So we've been big fans of hers her whole career, and we always look forward to getting a chance to listen to her. And anytime we can expand her fan base and just educate people a little bit, I think, get them out of the house and away from their computers and phones for a little bit. That's the other thing that's a challenge, to get people to listen to live music real people. I've helped them with the sound there, and there's no tone correct there or anything. What you're going to hear is what you're going to get. It's not. They're not fixing anything. They're going to play. You're going to hear what they do, and they're very good. And we've always been big fans. And so we're just grateful that she'd come by and stop by and do this with us. Yeah,
well, we're honored to have you all here in the studio here, and it's been a pleasure for me to even get to hear just a bit of your work. Thank you. 36 years, you said?
Uh-huh.
Is that right?
Yeah.
That is amazing. This is a real pleasure to have you here in studio. What comes next for you?
Well, we'll have this busy week, and then we'll head back to Saskatchewan, and very busy with the art gallery and things coming up, events coming up there. We just acquired some more space, so we've expanded a bit. So now we can offer workshops, songwriting seminars, paint nights. So we're looking forward to starting to introduce those. And there's nothing like that going on in our community. So we thought we can. But there's a lot of talented people that I think would really jump in and want to be a part of that. So and then just seeing what we can be booking for shows into the future, and people are hesitant about making commitments.
Sure,
so
because you never know,
right? And I don't blame them, because it's a lot of work to get tickets sold and then have to round up everybody and return their money if something's postponed. And so we're going to see what the future holds and just keep pressing on. But I am in the midst of almost finishing a gospel album. So it'll be my third gospel album, but my 18th album in total.
Wow.
So we're looking forward to getting that out, and then another Western album is in the works for after that. So there's always something to be reaching for and looking forward to and working towards. So we're blessed. We feel very, very blessed. In spite of it all, COVID kind of kicked us in another direction, and things that we wouldn't have attempted if we were so busy on the road. So we're looking on the very bright side and going that way.
Speaks to the longevity of your career, that being able to adapt and run with it, and
trying.
Yeah, trying.
A girl's got to eat.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
Well, we're so glad you're out here, and that they're still making music, that you didn't just scrap it when all this started a year and a half ago. And here's to a better year for both you and John.
Thank you.
Than the last one. Man, get out and see this. It's tonight at 7 p.m. at the Barn in Old Paradise, about 108th South there in Paradise, right on the main drag, Highway 165. Live Western Roots music concert with award-winning Canadian recording artist Eli Barsi and John Cunningham joining her as well. They've been our guests this hour. And, folks, if you don't mind, maybe play us out of the hour with a little... Well, anything you'd like. And for listeners, stay tuned. Hour 2 with the For the People Book Club is coming up right after you take a pause in your day and listen to this.
Sure thing. And we just want to add that big thanks to Dale Major and his family. They've been so good to us. This isn't the first time we've been in this neck of the woods, and we've always come out this way because Dale's invited us and made the arrangements for us to do a show and share our music out this way. So once again, we're here because of Dale, so big thanks to our friend Dale Major and his beautiful family. Here's an old song. We like to mix in old ones. This one's the oldest one we know, from 1937.
Wow.
And aren't you lucky we don't know all 15 verses? You'll know this one.
Twang with my mangles and waving blonde hair, with the roses so red and the lilies so fair, and the myrtle so bright on the emerald dew. The male is the leader with eyes oh so blue. I will dance, I will sing, and my life shall be gay. I will charm every heart, and in his arms I will stay. When I woke from my dreams and my idols were clay, well, that portion of love had all blown away. promised to love me and call me his flower. I was blooming to cheer him through life's darkest hour. How I long to see him and forget the dark hour. He's gone and neglected his pale wildwood flower. Oh, he's gone and neglected his pale wildwood flower.
KVNU, Logan, 610 AM and 102.1 FM with the best talk and information.